Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another session of live Q&A. If you have any questions, please let me know now. Please let me know one question at a time, because if you send in too many questions at the same time, it takes too long to answer and your question might be moved out of the screen. So send in one question at a time. I will begin reading your comment. Sadhu Bante, take care and stay safe. Sammy Riachi, good morning, Tanajan. Good morning to you. David Silananda, Sadhu, Sadhu. Helen Chang, Sukun Tu Ajahn. Rico Campbell, Bandami Bante. Nabiti Namaskar Ajahn from Medan, Indonesia. Patsy Chung, Sadhu. Simei, Grab Ajahn. Walai Pon, Grab Namaskar, Panajan from Bangkok, Thailand. Vichan Rajan Health. The Bangsa JW. Namaskar, Pajan from Sriracha. Metalo, Sadhu, Sadhu. Ong Apprentice, sound is clear. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. B. Chanlim Jalan Anumo Tanda Sadhu Krab. Question number 1. Tien Wat Tung, Johor, Malaysia. I have been meditating during this pandemic period. I can see sufferings and impermanence, but I still have a lot of attachments. This is because I haven't realized not self. How do I be able to see not self and let go of attachment? Thank you. You have to see that they are not under your control. They are like the weather. Once you see them as the weather, then you know it's futile for you to try to control them. So, and if you don't want to have any suffering, then you just have to leave them alone. Let them come and go like the weather. Everything are natural phenomena, but we treat them as belonging to us, under our control. When we cannot control them, then we got suffering. So you have to look at everything as the weather, as a natural phenomenon. They come and go, like the wind, like the rain, the heat, the disease, everything. They are natural process. You cannot control them. So you just have to leave them alone. Your body also is a natural process. Leave it alone. It comes and it will go one day eventually. Sapruchai, Namaskaran, Tanajan. Sami Riachi, Tanajan. What is the best way to know that we are suitable for the ordained life? The best way is to ordain and find out for yourself. Like trying on a suit. When you want to buy a new pair of suit, you try it on to see whether it suits you or not. So the best way is to ordain, try it and find out for yourself. Pat Choi Chong, Sadhu, Sadhu, Ajahn. Manuelson, Sadhu, Sadhu, good afternoon. Chi Chin Chuan, dear Ajahn, do I make a timetable that states exact time to meditate? Just any time of the day to meditate? Thank you. It's up to you. If you set up the timetable, then you must be honest with yourself. Don't just set it for the fun of it. And when the time comes, you don't do what you set yourself to do, then it's useless. But if you are honest and serious with your timetable, then you will be forced to meditate at the time that you set up. Yohani Lee, Namaste Ajahn, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sanduam, Pandit, Sadhu, Sadhu, Aranut, Nui, from San Jose. Good morning, Ajahn. Greetings from San Jose, California. After I practiced more samadhi, I can clearly see my feelings when they come up in my mind. I can identify my desire and let them go after I realize that they are always going against anicca and dukkha and anatta. I used to get stressed and anxious easily in the past. Now I can stay calm and peaceful most of the time. Dhamma is so amazing. Thank you very much for your teaching. You are welcome. The Dhamma, the taste of Dhamma excel all tastes. The best taste is the taste of Dhamma, the taste of peace and happiness. Ya Chanicha Sadhu, I Nilam Sadhu, Shime, dear Ajahn, the mind is not progressing with breath meditation, but the mind can do Bhutto quite well. Is there anywhere that the Buddha taught in the sutta to internally recite Bhutto? Why is the Anapanasati so complicated? Sadhu and thank you. You can use Bhutto, you can keep reciting the Bhutto and don't worry about Anapanasati. Maybe it's not suitable for you. Maybe reciting Bhutto is suitable for you. They both can do the job. So if you cannot use Anapanasati, then use Bhuttanusati, which is the reciting of Bhutto, Bhutto. Megawati Lao, Sadhu, Devi Silanada. Tanajan, why do I have a lot of dreams and woke up feeling very tired? How to do away with it? Your dreams are the cause of your thoughts. You think a lot. Your mind is restless. So even when you sleep, your mind still keeps thinking, and they becomes dreams. The best way to deal with this is to practice meditation, practice mindfulness during the daytime when you're not sleeping. Keep controlling your thought. Try to reduce your thought to the minimum. Not thinking at all, if it's possible. Use Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Concentrate on what you do. Then you can eliminate or diminish your thoughts so that when you sleep, you won't have much dreams. Question from Chong Yeo, Singapore. If we use a Supa, 32 parts of 4-element practice to remove attachment to the body, what method shall we use to remove attachment to our mind? Use Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Look at the mind, it's constantly changing. The states of mind is constantly changing. The mind can be happy today, sad tomorrow, restless today, peaceful tomorrow. Or in the same day, it can keep changing back and forth. So treat it as anicca, changing, anatta, not under your control, like a natural process, like the weather. When you're happy, just tell yourself that this is anicca. Sooner or later, this happiness will disappear. Then sadness will return. And when you have sadness, it's the same thing. It's like happiness. It comes and it will go. Everything comes and goes. The mind keeps constantly changing, from good to bad, from bad to good. And you cannot control them. All you can do is just to to treat them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Jip Luang Gun, Grab Sadhu Ka, Sadhu Pante. Sometimes I will have nightmare. Also, I will afraid this or that. Worry someone will hurt me. Is it I need overcome from my mind? If time I learn Dhamma, I will realize more confident than the normal daily time. Thank you, Bante. Yes, I need overcome from my mind. If time I learn Dhamma, I will realize more confidence. I'm not sure if this is your question or just a comment. From Pasana, Namaskaran Ka, Venerable Ajahn, sound from Bangkok. Sound is very good. I'm intentionally doing mindfulness during the day. Good. วางได้จึงเบาสาธุสาธุชาลิสการนัฐกิจโพเกนสาธุสาธุโจลินเทสาธุสาธุแพทชอยชอมสาธุสาธุอาจารย์ซุนฮินโยสาธุอาจารย์ greetings from Singapore. Leonard say, I love to hear you answering these people's question. It's a learning process. Thank you. Yes, me too. Person with the Chinese character, which I cannot read, I'm sorry. Sandy Ong, Satu Bante. Jinalin Pur. Good afternoon, Ajahn. I'm Jinalin Pur from Selangor, Malaysia. Thank you for sharing your advice and Dhamma. You're welcome. Sima Satu and thank you, Ajahn. Mudita Yong, Maha Satu Satu, Venerable Ajahn Suchart. Ananda T, Satu Satu. Good morning, Ajahn, from San Jose. Satu wish me can do it also. Karina Kaur, Satu 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 Pante. Jeffrey Harkins, Namaskaran from Melbourne, Australia. Okay. If you have any question, please send them in now. We have about 1 hour to answer your questions. So you can take your time typing your questions. Please be precise and be clear. Because sometimes if I misunderstand your question, then I can give you the wrong answer. Pim Jan Satu. Question number 2 from Chong Yeo. How shall we behave or be in terms of our state of mind and body if we are sick with pain or near our deathbed? Do we go into samadhi or do we contemplate in our body and mind? Please advise, Ajahn. You do both, really. You use samadhi and you also use contemplation of anicca, dukkha, anatta. You have to learn to do it now, so that when the time comes, you will know how to do it properly. First, you learn how to do samadhi first. Once you have samadhi, then you can learn to contemplate the truth of the body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you can contemplate with samadhi, your mind can then be detached from your body and will not be hurt by the suffering of the body. So you have to do it now, learn how to do it now. Don't wait because you don't know when you're gonna die, when you're gonna get sick. Once you have learned how to deal with your sickness and your death, when the time comes, you will not be disturbed. Your mind will be peaceful and happy. Shiva A. Good day, dear Ajahn. Anthony Chan, I was having nightmare 2 nights ago. A ghost was touching my spine. I remember Ajahn Sona advice, spread loving kindness to all other beings, even those who want to harm you. And I think, may you be well and happy to the ghost. And with that thought puff, I immediately woke up. Just commentaries, not a question. Thank you, Ajahn. Yes, the best way to deal with things like this is to use equanimity. Just acknowledge them for what they are. They are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. Let them come and let them go. They cannot hurt you. Nothing can hurt your mind except except yourself, except your your delusion and your fear. As long as you're not fearful and you're not deluded, your mind will be safe. So use wisdom. Treat everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. From Sami Reachi. Tanajan, sometimes when I'm provoked, I react. Sometimes I can control myself. How do we get to a point where we don't react at all? When you have perfect mindfulness and perfect wisdom, then you will just merely acknowledge. You just merely know. Whatever people do or say to you, you will just merely know. But you have to have complete control of your mind with mindfulness and wisdom. Adi Aha, Satu Tanajan, Kwan Liman. Dear Ajahn, with respect, I do not have much thought throughout the day. Is it right to keep the quiet mind? Yes, that's the best way. Keep your mind quiet, just merely knowing and not thinking. But I could not maintain mindfulness from activities to activities throughout the day. What can I do, please? Just focus on what you do during your activity. And if you have to think, only think about what you have to do at that time. Once you finish with your activity, then stop thinking. Keep your mind quiet. Ong Eng Eng, Satu Satu. Christine Kutkowski. Hello dear Tanajan. Do you have any feelings about the US pulling out of Afghanistan? I am happy, but it is a difficult time for the people living there. Also, my son and his family recently tested positive for COVID. Please keep them in your thoughts. I look at everything as anicca, impermanent. Everything changes. Everything changes from good to bad, from bad to good. They are all anatta. They are not under your control. So not much for you to do or react. Really, doesn't change anything. The most important thing for you to do or for me to do is to take care of my mind. Look after my mind, make it peaceful and calm, and not disturbed by the events that's happening. Everything has their own places. They come and go, they rise and cease. Something that you cannot change sometimes. If you cannot change, then you just have to let it be. If you can do something about it, go ahead and do it. But if you cannot do it, then you just have to let it be. But don't get yourself consumed by the events around you. It doesn't do your mind any good. Protect your mind with mindfulness and wisdom. James Ong, Satu, Satu. Hemlata M. What is meant by spirituality? Can we use spirituality to pray for someone to heal from disease if someone is sick? It depends on how you define the word spirituality. In Buddhism, we define spirituality as the mind or the spirit. That is half of ourself. We are made of two parts, the physical part and the spiritual part. but we cannot pray for someone to heal their disease. If that's the case, then we won't need to have doctors and hospitals and medicines. Lee Kim Lim, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sun Hoi Cha, Sadhu, Sadhu. William Chok, good afternoon, Ajahn. Greetings from Singapore. Greetings to you. Sawante, Sadhu, Sadhu. Shiva A. Dear Ajahn, society makes us fear death. We see people trying to save little in all possible ways. And when people die, they cry. Is what we see in our surroundings make us fear death, or is it our basic inborn survival instinct make us fear death? What makes us fear death is our own delusion, for thinking the body as being ourselves. So once we think the body is ourselves, we want to protect. We don't want the body to die, because we thought that if the body died, we would die with the body. But with wisdom, you will realize that you are not the body. You are the spirit or the mind behind the body. You're the one who drives the body, tells the body what to do. But you don't die with the body. So there is no fear for the ones who has become enlightened, knowing the difference between the mind and the body. Knowing that the mind is permanent while the body is impermanent. Knowing that the mind is the one who tells the body what to do. So the mind isn't afraid of the death of the body. This is something you will learn from studying and practicing the teaching of the Buddha to get rid of our delusion. The Buddha said there is no self. We are not the body. We come from the mind. But the mind is not a self either. The mind is the one who knows, the one who thinks, the one who tells the body what to do. And the body doesn't die with the mind doesn't die with the body. So the mind isn't afraid when the body dies. Shimei, dear Ajahn, do arahants still have thoughts that come and go even when they are enlightened? Yes, the Buddha still used thought to teach the Buddha, to teach the Dhamma to us. The arahants and the ordinary people have the same five khandhas. The difference is that the arahants don't have any defilements in the mind that drives the five khandhas. The arahant just have Dhamma to drive the five khandhas, to direct the five khandhas. But with ordinary people like us, we use the defilement to direct our five khandhas. When an arahant is sweeping the floor, would thoughts still pop up sometimes while they sweep the floor? They have thought, they can think, and they can also stop thinking if they like. Arahant has full control of the thoughts. They can tell them when to stop thinking and when not to stop thinking. Adi aha, truka. Hui hong lo, satu satu, greeting from Penang, Malaysia. Hui po hoa, suki ho tu Ajahn. Thank you. CG Lim, satu satu. Phoebe said, dear Venerable Ajahn, thank you for teaching us. Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for coming in, Phoebe. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well. From Sammy Reachi, Ajahn, for someone full of doubts, can pariyati serve the purpose of helping us clear our doubts before we engage fully with the practice? Studying will not clear your doubts completely. It will only clear half of the doubts, but not completely. In order to be fully without any doubts, you have to do the practice and become enlightened. From Irene Uwe, good afternoon, Ajahn, and everyone in the Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu. From William Chok, Ajahn, I am having tinnitus tinnitus. I'm not sure what it is. Noise in the ear, ringing sound. I guess meditation can help to ignore it. I can sleep soundly after my meditation. Before sleep, overnight meditation is being mindful. Is this correct? Yes. Both are both are being mindful. Whether you close your eyes or you open your eyes and meditate, you're using mindfulness. Pat Bam Patarapon, thank you for teaching me. You're welcome. Tiem Hua Tan, Satu Satu. Simon Yo, Satu Satu. Thank you, Pante, for teaching us Satu Satu. Chinese character, thank you, Pante, for teaching us. Sunny Lim, Satu Satu Ajahn, Suchart, and stay safe and peaceful. Have a good day. Thank you. Irene Uy, thank you, Ajahn, for your guidance. Ashley Huang, Ajahn, is a person guilty if he didn't donate bone marrow to a patient? No. When you don't donate, it just means that you are not generous. You're not sharing something that you can share. But it doesn't mean that you are guilty or you are bad. Sometimes you cannot share or give away things. Sometimes you can. So if you do share and give away things, it means you are kind, you are generous. That's all. When you're not, then it means you are not kind or generous. But you are not bad because you don't give to charity. Because sometimes you may not have to give, you might not have enough to give. So don't worry if you cannot give. Question number 3 from Chong Yeo. To reach at least the stream entry, is it essential to practice the super meditation to remove attachment to the body totally, or will there still be partial attachment to the body? To reach Sotapanna, you don't need to practice the super yet. You just practice anicca, the nature of the body, as being impermanent. The body will get old, get sick, and die. You don't have to study the asubha or the unpleasant aspect of the body yet. That is the next level. The level of the Sotapanna is for you to accept death, accept aging, sickness, and death without having any fear. From Shiva A. Dear Ajahn, I heard you telling someone to practice metta to get rid of anger by sending metta to the person who caused anger. And last time I asked you, practicing metta help us to get rid of fear. You told me to check myself. I tried a few times. I felt it freeze by accepting and loving the condition that caused fear. Raymond NG, Ajahn, I am Raymond from San Francisco. I have questions for my wife who practiced meditation for more than a year, who experienced unusual feelings. There is an air element circulation around the head when I was sitting still or relaxed. Frequently woke up middle of the night to meditate. Is this the right way? Meditation can be done at any time, whenever you want to. So there's nothing wrong with getting up at night and meditate. Maybe because you have enough sleep and you don't feel like sleeping, so you get up and meditate. Because meditation is good for you, good for your mind. It makes your mind peaceful and happy. From Phoebe saying, yes, I am well, thank you. Sorry, I did not come in recently. I feel my practice has in advance, so I have no question to ask. but I listen to the recordings of the Q&As and Zooms repeatedly to keep motivated. Mindfulness is not consistent and concentration is not strong either. I just need to put in more time and effort. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, just keep pushing yourself. Don't give up. Don't relent. The more you push yourself, the more you will advance. But you have to know your strength. Once you overdo it, you can get frustrated. So you have to find the middle path for your practice. From William Chalk, Ajahn, if one meditates more and sleep less, will it affect one's mental health? No, it will improve your mental health. The more you meditate, the more healthy your mind will become. Your mind will become more peaceful and happy. So don't worry about sleeping. Eventually you will sleep. When the body really needs to sleep, it will fall asleep. So if you can meditate, don't worry about sleeping. Sleeping will come naturally when the body really needs it. But meditation don't come naturally. Meditation has to be forced upon because we're not used to meditate. But once we become used to meditation, then meditation will become natural. And it will be good for the mind. It will make the mind calm, peaceful, content, and happy. Irene Ui, Tanajan, is it disrespectful to listen to the Dhamma while lying down? If you are alone, no. You can listen to the Dhamma in any posture you like. But if you are in front, face to face with someone who gives you the Dhamma talk, or you listen in a crowd of people who sit, then you should sit. But if you happen to be sick and you cannot get up, you can still listen to Dhamma talk lying down, no problem. Hemlada M. If someone has increase in mental power, strong mind, or concentration, how can we use it? We normally use the strong mind to resist our defilements, our cravings, our greed, hate, and delusion. We can stop them with a strong mind. From Ashley Huang, thanks Ajahn. I will still donate if mine can help him. Yes, this is dana. This is one of the 3 practices that the Buddha recommends. First give dana, then keep the precept, then practice meditation. These are all the methods that will improve your mind to become healthy and stronger mind. Simon Yeo, dear John, my parents work hard to support me and my siblings. When we were young, they lived a life of hardship with little material comforts. Now our living standards have improved, and I like to provide them with material comfort so that they can live their lives comfortably. From Buddhism point of view, I understand material comforts are discouraged, but what I am doing is more for them. What are your views regarding my intention? Doing for others is good, but doing for yourself is bad. If you have to choose by material comfort or mental comfort, then you should choose mental comfort for yourself. But for other people, if you cannot give them mental comfort, then you should give them material comfort. It's up to them whether they want to use it or not. Some monks have people give them a lot of material comfort, but monks don't use them because they don't need material comfort. They know they need mental comfort more than material comfort. Because mental comfort is better than material comfort. Ramesh Sam Prakash, so nice. Namo Buddha. Sadhu. From Aranut Nui, I saw many images of Buddha and monks sleeping sideways on the right. I am wondering if they would change the pose afterwards during the night. Will they stay in that pose all night when they are sleeping with mindfulness. Well, this is something that you don't need to know really. You know. But normally they will sleep when they will start sleeping in that posture. But once they go to sleep, if they should shift or not, I don't know. It's not important to know anyway. Ramesh, where is the Buddha in present? The Buddha is in the Pure Land, in Nibbana. The mind of the Buddha becomes pure and doesn't have to use the body to exist anymore, doesn't rely on the body to exist. So the Buddha exists without the body. The mind of the Buddha is pure without any defilement. Isto Antero. Hello Ajahn, I am from Finland. Can antidepressive medication be hindrance to meditation? Thank you for your teaching. If you use them until you become reliant on them, then they can become a hindrance. When you don't have them, then you'll find it impossible to meditate. So it's better to try to not rely on medication. Try to reduce them gradually and rely more on meditation. Meditation is a better antidepressive device than medication. Question from AS Malaysia. In the past 4 years, I have lost my beloved mother-in-law, father, and the reason is my husband due to COVID-19 complication. I would like to ask why this happened to me. Why other people can be happy and enjoy marriage life until old age. I am not a perfect person, but I did not harm other people. This is something that is part of our karma. Our past karma made us reap the fruits of our past karma in this lifetime. So sometimes that's why we are different. Sometimes we have more suffering than others. Sometimes we have more happiness than the others. This is up to the good and bad karma that we perform in our past lives. From SC, Sadhu, Sadhu. Irene Uy, thank you Ajahn for the answer. Pramsa JW question asking Prajan, during my taking 8 precepts, I was thinking to eat some dessert, just only thinking to eat. This means that I can control my conscience to not eat, but I have not enough mindfulness to control thinking. I guess so. You still think, you cannot stop thinking, so you don't have enough mindfulness. You should practice more mindfulness by constantly reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Simon Yo, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sue Christie, Sadhu, Sadhu. Jampa Yangchin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. We still have about 20 more minutes. So if you have any questions, you can still send them in. Take your time. Take your time to form your question. Be precise and be clear. From Sulan Uy, dear Ajahn, thank you for your compassion to guide us. In one of the suttas, the Buddha mentioned that truly seeing Dhamma, one sees me, seeing me, one sees Dhamma. Given that Arahants are enlightened beings, will they be able to see the Buddha and to communicate with them or other enlightened beings in Nibbana? Sadhu. Seeing the Buddha meaning that you have change your mind from normal mind to become a mind similar to the Buddha. That's what it means. When you practice, your mind will change from an ordinary being to become an enlightened being. So that's what the Buddha means by seeing the Buddha. Once you become enlightened, then you will know this is what the mind of the Buddha looks like. Whether you can communicate with them or not is up to your special psychic power. If you have special psychic power, you might be able to contact them and communicate with them. You might not. It doesn't mean that you will contact them. But there's a possibility that if you have psychic power, the ability to contact other mind, then you might be able to contact the mind of other Buddhas. Johanna Lee, dear Ajahn, while listening Dhamma, my boyfriend likes to insult me, saying he's king of Mara. How is the right response toward this Ajahn? Just don't respond. Just let him say whatever he wants to say. Leave him alone. Leave him alone in his delusion. No need to respond. The right response is not to respond. Cornell Kennedy, Wandami Ajahn. Why there are monks decide to start a monastery? Isn't that business too, because lots of activities will get involved? Why not keep practicing until attain Arahant? Buddha said can attain in 7 days, 7 weeks, etc. Well, you have to ask them. When you see a monk building a monastery, why don't you ask them and say, why don't you practice, why don't you become enlightened before you build a monastery? From Mikey LK, my respect to you, Ajahn Suchart. Thank you for your teachings. Wish to know the minimum level of jhana, 1 to 4, which provide a strong foundation for contemplation to be effective. You need the 4th jhana. I am from Singapore. Hope to visit you one day. Hope to see you soon too. Chonburi Lom, Satu Satu. Suchart, you Wandami Ajahn. Irving Huang Satu. Sammy Reachi, I want to ordain under you, Ajahn. That's not possible because I cannot ordain. You have to be ordained by someone else, but you can always practice under my instruction. You don't need to physically live with me. You just follow my teaching. Ani Kai, Namaskar Ajahn. How can I know that my meditation has succeeded in my daily life? If your mind becomes more calm, more peaceful, and more mindful, then you have succeeded partially in your meditation. When you have less anger, less greed, less cravings, then you are progressing in your meditation practice. Naman Jono, dear Ajahn, when doing anapanasati, when I watch my breath out, can I also relax my tense shoulder at the same time when releasing breath? Thank you. No, you should not worry about your shoulder or your body. Just keep watching your breath. When you first start, you should relax your body before you meditate. Sit down in a relaxed position. Don't tense your body. Once you have set up your body properly, then you can leave it alone. Don't pay any more attention to it. Just focus on your breath only. If you want your mind to become still and peaceful and happy, Ting Fan Jai, Satu Satu, Champa Yang Chen, can smell sense be impermanent too? Yes, everything is impermanent. Suddenly cannot stand the smell of durians, and at times I get mad when I smell it. When you get mad, then you should recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto to stop your anger. Cornell Kennedy, Vandami Ajahn. How important do we need to build followers? Like, for example, building a non-profit organization and attract more followers. How about attract more people to donate under what you are about to donate? That is, for example, open an opportunity for people to do dana with us. I think you should not worry about getting donation from people. Let this thing comes naturally. Let people decide for themselves whether they want to donate or not. If they want to donate, if they want to build temples, then you can assist them. But you shouldn't be the one to instigate this donation. You shouldn't instigate anything. Your role is to study the Dhamma and to become enlightened. Once you become enlightened, then you teach the Dhamma to other people. You leave the people alone. Let them do what they decide to do. If they want to donate, it's up to them. If they want to keep the precept, it's up to them. If they want to meditate, it's up to them. You are there just to assist them, to teach them. But you're not there to encourage or to instigate them to do things. Ali Hassan, good afternoon, Ajahn and all. Sammy Riyashi, how about if someone offer you a piece of land to build a monastery? Would you do it? For me, no. It's too late now. I'm too old. I'm 74, and I want to live in peace. I don't want to have to do more work than I have to. The only work I will do nowadays is just to teach the Dhamma. But as far as other things, I don't want to be involved. It takes too much time and takes a lot of energy, and the feedback is not as good as teaching the Dhamma. So I concentrate on teaching the Dhamma more than anything else. From William Chalk, Ajahn, when one gains enlightenment, meaning one will not harbor hatred or have extreme happiness, but just peaceful at all times. When one becomes fully enlightened, one will have no greed, hatred, delusion, or fear. One will just merely exist without having to react or rely on anybody or anything. One can be alone and peace and be happy. One doesn't need anything to be happy once one becomes enlightened. That's the nature of an enlightened mind. An enlightened mind is a contented mind. Happy mind doesn't need to have anything to make it content or happy. It can be happy by itself. From Kwan Patum Napa Satu, Naman Jono, dear Ajahn, just for confirmation. Sometime during a long meditation, anapanasati, my body will become tense because maybe I focus too much. So per Ajahn instruction, I should just ignore the body completely. Just focus my breath. That's right. Because if you come back to your body, then it's like starting over again. You don't want to start over. It's like a plane taking off halfway and then has to has to come back down to the runway to restart again. Once you take off on the runway, just keep pushing the plane and to get lift off from the ground. Same way with meditation. Once you start meditating, watching your breath, then you should ignore your body. If you come back to your body, it's like coming back to start from scratch again. And is it good thing if suddenly everything become bright, even closed eyes and dark room during anapanasati? It's not good or bad. It's just a happening that you just acknowledge and then leave it alone, and come back and focus on your breath. Continue on focusing on your breath. Don't be distracted by anything that happens during meditation. If you want your mind to become fully concentrated, peaceful and calm. Bilim Sadhu Sadhu Pante. Hemlata is praying really useful? Praying doesn't bring you any result. Praying is just wishful thinking. Sometimes it gives you results, sometimes it doesn't. And what you get is not because you pray. What you get is because you're gonna get it anyway. Chamnan, Laksa Chat, Sadhu Sadhu. Simon Yo, may Ajahn continue to stay in good health to expound the Dhamma to benefit all sentient beings. Thank you. Okay, we have about 8 more minutes left, so we can still send in your question right now. I'll be here for another about 10 minutes or so. From Dhamma Jono, thank you Ajahn, Sadhu, Sadhu. From the floral bloom, dear Ajahn, this Karen from Hong Kong. This is Karen from Hong Kong. Would like to know any difference between kindness in helping animals and people. No, there's no difference. It's metta, it's loving kindness and compassion. Lingo. Ajahn, how do I fight this laziness in me to meditate further? Every time I want to meditate, there will always be something blocking me, or my partner, switching on TV, walk here and there. A lot of distraction, especially now we have lockdown extended. Yes, this is a difficult situation. If you want to advance in your meditation, then you have to live alone if possible. Or if you have to live with people who meditate, who will help encourage you to meditate. But if you live with people who keep distracting you from meditating, then that's just unfortunate for you. So you have to choose the right people to live with if you want to advance in your meditation practice. Also, you have to have strong determination, persistent determination. You should have to keep doing it without being distracted by anything. From William Chalk, Ajahn, when one becomes absorbed in the flow of the breath during meditation, is there attachment? No, one just watch. One just watching the breath. Yeah. Attachment means that one wants the breath to be there all the time. And when the breath is not there, then one becomes sad or unhappy. Sulan Uy, dear Ajahn, your advice on not creating new problems is really helpful. We'll be able to be happy, Sadhu. Will I be able to be happy, Sadhu? Yes, the less problem you have, the happier you will become. The reason why we're not happy because we keep creating new problems. So if we can stop creating problems, then we will be happier. Anita here. Dear Ajahn, how to properly do body contemplation such as Kesa, Loma? Do we visualize or just repeat the recitation? First, you repeat the names of the 32 parts. Once you remember them, then you can visualize each part separately. Visualize the hair of the head, the hair of the body, the nail, the teeth, and so on. Visualize them. If you cannot visualize them, then you have to look up in an anatomy book or go to look at the autopsy. Shiva A. I felt difficult to meditate after eating food, but when my stomach is empty, it is easy to meditate. Does food have to do something with meditation? Yes, when you are full, you become sleepy and drowsy. So that's why we have to have moderation in eating. Eat only enough to keep the body going. Don't eat too much because when you eat too much, you become sleepy and lazy. From Ruth TW, Namaskaran Prajan from Melbourne. From Phoebe Sang, Dear Ajahn, are you alright? It looks to me like you may have recently had a fall. I am looking at the marks on the side of your cheek as well as forehead. Please let me know. The forehead is just a cut I got this morning from shaving my head. It's probably it's probably a pimple or something. So when I shave my hair, it cut the pimple, so I have a little. But the marks on my cheek it has been there all the time. It's part of my face marking. No, I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me. Thank you for your concern. Ruth TW, how to keep practicing in the lazy day. Just keep practicing like in the not lazy day. Just keep on practicing like eating. Sometimes you eat when you don't feel like eating, but you know that if you don't eat, the consequence will be bad than eating. The same way you should think about practicing, that the consequence of not practicing is worse than practicing. Even if you're lazy to do, then it will encourage you to practice because practicing gives you benefits, doesn't hurt you or harm you. But by not practicing, it can harm you. So just keep thinking like when you are eating. You eat, you eat even when you don't want to eat because you know if you don't eat, you will get hungry. Same way with meditation. If you don't meditate, then your mind can become restless and agitated. Anilam Satu Satu. Vignesh VK Satu Satu. CG Lim, may Ajahn stay in good health and state of mind and progress smoothly on the spiritual path to enlightenment. Champa, thank you for answering my question. Take care. Tan Siu Hong, Satu Satu. Long apprentice, I want to learn how Ajahn can still be happily teaching for 2 hours at night despite having bad headache and fever right after vaccine. I just ignore it. Once your mind is focused on something, then the other thing cannot distract you. If you have strong mindfulness, you can do almost anything. Lin Go, thank you, Ajahn, for your advice. William Chalk, thank you, Ajahn, for guidance and answer. Hemlata, how to remove curse or black magic. Just ignore them. They are not true. You don't need to do anything with them. Shiva A, dear Ajahn, is our body made of same stuff as the world? Yes, our body comes from the four elements, made up of the four elements. like the rest of the world. The mountain, the streams, the trees, everything made from the four elements or one of the four elements. Practicing impermanence of the body and impermanence of world, everything including our body, all the same. Yes, our body is part of the world, part of, part of the mountain, the trees, the stream, the skies. Our body is a natural process that build up and eventually will dissolve and will return to the four elements. Sami Riachi, Tanajan, is there a minimum number of sittings hour you recommend for full-time meditation? As much as possible. That's my recommendation. Do as much as possible. Do as much as you can. Vicky Tan, thank you, Tanajan, for teaching us. Kim Echua, Satu, Satu. Christine Koe, may Lord Paul Suchart stay strong, healthy, well, and long life. Thank you. Shiba, thank you for answering all my doubts. Apprentice, thank you for the guidance. Te Seng In, thank you, Ajahn, for your guidance. Satu, Satu. Well, that's about it. It's about 1 hour and 1 minute and a half. Thank you very much for your participation in this Q&A meeting. I hope you benefit from this session and can apply in your practice to help you move forward. So in the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay mindful. And hopefully I will see you again next time. Thank you and goodbye.